Well, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever it happens to be that you're watching. Today, I want to continue on my fire series, and I'd like to talk a little bit about some quick, easy Tinder, not the kindling, but the Tinder. And to me, the Tinder is something that is the beginning stage of fire. Something that catches sparks, I guess, like, cotton balls and maybe some char cloth for flint and steel. But the char cloth really isn't Tinder to me, because it doesn't catch flame. It catches the spark, but it doesn't catch flame. You can blow it into flame with other materials. But anyway, enough about that. I just got a couple things here. I got some cotton balls and some dryer lint, and then I got petroleum jelly like Vaseline and lip balm. It doesn't matter which brand, because I don't know about you, but I don't walk around with this in my pocket all day, But something like this, yeah. Well, this is O'Keefe's, but you can use any of the stuff. I like the stuff that's got beeswax in it. It's natural, that kind of thing. But anyway, I'll get started with this video here. This is the... I wouldn't necessarily say this is the first step of creating fire, or a fire, because they all kind of go hand in hand. I can ignite a cotton ball, and I got flame for about a minute, if that, but that doesn't help. You need to find the wood, you need to gather the wood, you need to process the wood, you need to break it down into small sticks, and you need to break it down further into kindling. But this is after you have all that stuff and you're set and you got your site cleared and you're ready to start the fire, I guess, then these are just some simple man-made items that pretty much everybody's got laying around the house. If not, you go to a laundromat, and when you clean out the lint filter in a dryer, keep it. Put it in a Ziploc bag. Take it home with you. Throw it in your pack. It doesn't weigh anything. And you got Tinder. I got a stick here, and I'm gonna do, this is just poplar. I'm gonna turn this into a feather stick and see if we can get that to catch a spark, because then that also could be natural tinder that you find out in the woods. I know I can do it with fat wood, but a lot of times you don't necessarily have fat wood, especially if you're not around any pines. So this, with the poplar, it's a pretty easy whittling wood, straight grained, burns fast. Doesn't give off a whole lot of heat, but it burns fast, and it's good for starting fires and for kindling. Gets the flame going nice. If you haven't already noticed, which I'm sure you have, I have an animal on my head. Yeah. I call him Ralph. Actually, I haven't named it yet. Let's see. I guess, without further ado, get started. Alright, I guess we'll just start with cotton ball. This is just a regular cotton ball. Nothing in it. You just break it up a little bit to expose some more of the little fibers. And today I'm going to use my Leatherman Wave with the saw, because the saw's got a nice 90-degree spine. And get out my ferro rod here. This is a 5-inch by 1/2-inch ferro rod. Works real good. And in here, it's going to go up quick. It's kind of like a flash tinder, but it catches sparks really well. And it doesn't burn real long, but it'll get you a start. If this is all you need and you got really dry material, this will work good. But if you want a little more working time than that, like I said, you can use just petroleum jelly. But instead of that, I'm going to use this. Break up the cotton ball again. Rub a little of this in there. And then just work it in. And then what the cotton ball does is pretty much acts like a wick. It'll start melting that wax and absorb into the cotton ball, and you'll have a longer flame. Now you saw how fast the other one burned out. Now see this one, it's still going pretty good. And the more of the petroleum product you put in there, the longer it's gonna keep burning. But if you process your stuff well enough, you really don't need much longer than what I have going here. Unless, of course, the stuff's all damp and wet. Still going pretty good. And the next one, after this, is going to be dryer lint. So that gives you a lot of working time there, and I only put a little bit. I mean, I pushed this up 1/8 inch maybe off the end. So I still have plenty left for whatever you care to use this for. Now granted, this, whoops, sorry about that. This isn't all that wind resistant, but it is a little bit. I'll put that one out. I can't even put it out. Okay, then I'll take this and I'll put it in the fire pit. Alright, and the next one, I just went downstairs in the laundry room and grabbed some dryer lint. I mean, if you got a dryer, you're going to have dryer lint. Same process. And it's pretty much burns the same as, say, the cotton ball without any petroleum jelly on it. Now this one, I'm just going to make a feather stick. And a nice thing about this is it's got a handle. So if you have your fire built or your fire lay already, it's similar to using a match. Now these are just fairly small curls, and you don't have to go all the way around the wood. But for video purposes, I'm making it look nice and pretty for you. And in this is one of my neck knives. It doesn't have a sharpened spine, so I can't make the fluff this way. So I do it this way. It's just some finer stuff that not working so well with that. The sharpened spine seems to work better. But with this popple, it's not staying on there. But I guess it doesn't matter. Just make some finer, little thinner, smaller curls. Something to help catch the spark. Now I just got to get it laid in there. Maybe the little shavings that I have down here. Anything to better your chances, your odds of success. If the spark lands in there, maybe that'll catch, you know, and then this will go. I'm trying to do this without shaking the table because my other camera's on this table. And remember what I said earlier, fire likes to climb. And see, now I have a really large match that I can just stick into a fire and start the rest of it. And basically what I did is the feathers and the curls were my tinder. And if I were to add this to a pile of these, this stuff here becomes my kindling. But that's those three. 1, 2, 3, yeah. So there. Now you know about cotton balls and petroleum jelly, lip balm, dryer lint, and a quick little feather stick, all with a ferro rod. I'm just putting it away now. So, I know there's all kinds of videos out there with the cotton balls and feather sticks, but I just wanted to include it into my series because it's like the starting point of the fire. Next, I'll go into processing just a piece of wood, and even something this size, you know, it's about the size of my forearm, processing something like this down into the kindling, and then the first stage pencil size stuff. You know, kindling is a little bit smaller, to me anyway. To each his own, whatever works for you, it's fine. And if it's dry, if it's good dry wood, especially if it's cedar or pine and it's really dry, it'll start on fire real quick, so it doesn't have to be real fine. I tend to do it the same every time, just out of habit now, but it also keeps me from having to think. If I am in a situation where I'm really cold and I need to get a fire going, I don't have to think about steps, you know, especially if I'm used to skipping some here and there. So I just do it the same all the time. It takes a little longer. I mean, I made the feather stick, and you saw that took a couple minutes. But I probably, if I were to go with feather sticks, I usually make 2 every fire, just to throw on there. If not feather sticks, I do the balls, you know, the curl balls, like this. It's just the curl at the ball that I cut off, and I use that to throw in the fire once I get the flame. Add a couple of those, and then I add the little kindling sticks, and then I add the first stage pencil size, and up to about cigar size, and then I go from there with the split wood and stuff. But that way it just keeps me from having to think about it. You know, if you do it the same every time, when it comes down to a needed situation, there's nothing to think about. You just make a fire. And it helps when you process smaller like that. If it is a little damp, you might not realize it, so it helps. Alright, Weekend Wanderer 3, letting you know that it's always a good day to get out in the woods. Practice your fire skills. You never know when you may need them. Alright, have a good rest of your day. Have a good rest of your night, evening, whatever time it is that you happen to be watching this. And I'd like to thank you for watching. Catch up with you later.